Okay, so Gabriel, I'm just gonna say a few things about your play this game. As his support generally, as you can see, you're laning against Tide, right? You pulled your tangos, you gave your things, you got your items. Generally against the Tide, you actually want to put the ward in lane. Generally around about here. This place. Just because if you put it in lane, then you can't see someone rotating on you when you're zoning the Tide. Later you'll see the Ogre Maggie come up here and you have no vision of him, and therefore you can't actually be zoning the Tide. Therefore the Tide actually gets more XP. So generally that ward that you put over there is not really that favorable in terms of early game. That ward's usually a ward which you put after your tier 1 tower has fallen. Another thing, sentry wards, yeah, it's important. It's important, I guess, because it stops your pull. You see, right now you're already giving Tide too much, and you're too close to the creep wave. You should have actually been positioned around about here, away from the creep wave. So you should have just gone right through the trees, sat here, right-click the Tide. Therefore, you don't actually pull aggro. By pulling your aggro, you actually pull the lane aggro, and you pull the lane aggro, then you actually push the creep wave. Therefore, the creep wave gets under the tower, Tide gets EXP, and you end up doing something counterproductive, which ends up basically he's winning his offlane now. Because you see, now they've lost the range creep, they've lost everything, and yeah, which is not very good. And then again, you're too close to the creep wave. You know, one tip is to get away, far away, right-click the guy, and then so that it doesn't draw any creep wave. Because if you right-click from far away, you don't draw a creep wave. That's one thing. Another thing, you see right now, you shouldn't be going for the ogre. You want to just stop Tide from getting XP. You should just keep on hitting him right now. You don't care about those last hits. You should just be hitting the Tide. You're giving him too much respect in terms of, you know, you just gotta be play a bit more aggressive, a bit more, you know, out there. Right now, again, you're giving too much respect. Just hit him. Just keep on hitting him.
A golden thread.
Like that. You know how much XP you lost there? I mean, HP you lost there. The goal of the safe lane support is to trade regen with the offlaner, right? Another thing which they often say about a safe lane support: we don't want to see you unless if we need you. Yeah? And see, since the wave is pushed right now, you shouldn't even be there. You should be ready to stack, ready to pull. Yeah? They don't want to see you, and you shouldn't be there. Same here, your positioning's wrong. You should be up the cliff. You can't see anything here, and now you're trying CS. You know, like, as a support, you're being greedy. Very greedy. Especially since you haven't used any of your pretty much any of your regen yet. And you're just, like, right now, if we pause the game and we have a look, this Tide is level 4, you're level 2. You shouldn't be. You should be the same level as your offlaner, at least. Yeah? If not lower. If not, like, well, you have to be at least equal. You know what I mean? Every single ounce of EXP you're getting, he should be getting until you use up all your regen. It's because if you don't have any, if you can't keep on, like, if you have regen, then that means you can keep on trading. That's as much as it means. As I was saying earlier with the wards, you actually can't play up because you don't have any vision. You don't know where the ogre is. Ogre plus a Tide will club you to death. That is true, but that's because your ward is in the wrong place. That's why, as I said earlier, that other ward is better. But as you currently have a look at the XP per minute, he is double of you. Meaning he's twice as leveled as you and he's getting twice as much of the lane as he's supposed to be getting out of the lane. If they're dual laning, that's so be it, right? But that means he's also sharing with his support. So therefore, as I said, you should be zoning a bit more. Here, you got both Q and W up. You should be using one of them, yeah? And also another tip, when zoning against the Tide, you don't want to cast both spells together, because both of Warlock spells are debuffs. Once you do a certain amount of damage, they disappear. And since they disappear, you're not actually doing your optimal amount of damage. You'll probably lose 200, 300 damage. So therefore you want to cast one. Once one wears off, and then you wait for however many seconds the tide's cracking shell is, which is 6 seconds, then you cast it again. Else then you become counterproductive, you lose out a lot of damage. So if you keep on playing the game, then you'll see, yep, you don't have any vision, you don't know where the ogre is. Right, so you can't actually harass. And now you could keep on walking, keep on hitting. This is a good fatal bonds. And again,
selfish.
You didn't stack. You need to stack. You need to make sure you don't do single pulls. Also, 3-minute pull is a very risky pull. I would always avoid a 3-minute pull because that's when the catapult comes. When a it's not 3 minutes anymore. But whenever the catapult comes, you don't want to do that pull. Unless if you have a triple stack or a double stack large camp, you'll always push. And then the offlaner will get the experience. See right now, he's just getting all this EXP. He's on more than double of your EXP per minute now. This pull's good, but again, you should be standing on the uphill. You should have been. Now you can't because he's actually far too far ahead of you. If you look at the EXP, he's level 6. He's already got Ravage. You can't actually do anything. Now, at this point, your lane's already lost. Yeah? And again, another thing. You see at this point, you still got all your regen? That means you didn't have to buy regen in the first place. Because you weren't trading hits with the offlaner, so you never actually used the regen. Yeah? And if we keep on fast forwarding out of the laning phase, you'll see something else. As a safe lane support, you should probably never farm, never rotate, unless if you can A, save someone's life and get a counter kill, or you're saving someone important like your mid. Yeah? And without guarantee, you should never do it. And only TP support if you're necessary. Not to mention you don't actually have a TP right now. So if you keep on fast forwarding the game, you'll see yourself eventually do a TP mid where you completely had no effect. And you, as you can see, right now, stacking, yeah, it gives you heaps of farm. But at this point, I would even just say, get some wards up for your carry, go and stack. You've already lost the lane, you have to keep on stacking. If you keep on stacking, then everyone gets some EXP, and therefore, you know, like, you can pull this back. Yeah? If you just keep on leeching EXP from your carry, which you need your golems, don't get me wrong, so you still have to be in lane every so often. But when you're not stacking, you should be in lane. You see this TP mid? You just watch yourself. That was 1320, right? And just watch how much time you waste here. You don't get a single stack, and you just walk around. You don't actually get any EXP. You don't get any real item progression. You could have gotten on those arcane boots from the side shop, or you could have couriered them in. Now you've wasted a whole minute. Still no stacks. Still no EXP. And yeah, your carry's getting farm. I mean, nothing's happening, but you're not doing anything. That's the key point. You're not doing anything. And now you're finally back after wasting 1.5 minutes, which you could have even given the sentry ward to the Kunkka to D-ward. Not to mention you actually didn't save a carry because you're watching towers getting beat down. And again, the Dire might want to mine you got your wards, that's fine. Should have put them on the courier, recode to the invoker with by right-clicking the very bottom. And again, you'll see yourself wasting time. You came here 15:30, and you're just gonna walk around, and you just see yourself wasting a lot of time. Efficiency, you're not really, to be honest, you're just sitting around and sapping XP. You're not causing anything to happen. You're not creating space. You're not getting more farm for your carry. You just, you know, this is something which you have to worry about as support. Support, you're being the enabler. You're enabling your carry to get farm. And now you got your wards, you don't have a TP. At this point, the game's pulling very, very far away. You guys have no towers. They have 4 towers after this one. You haven't casted your ulti once because you haven't enabled a single fight, or neither have you been in them. You haven't stacked any camps. You know, you've let your carry die a couple of times already. Twice, I believe. No, okay, once. And overall, you're not really doing your job correctly. So this is just some things that you need to worry about, which is just, as a support, you're trying to get farm for your carry. Whether it be it getting vision for them, be it stacking camps for them, be it creating space for them, or be it saving them. Like, this is what you need to keep in mind. You just need to think, what would my carry want from me in order to get more farm? Right? And what do I need to do to make sure that they keep away from my carry? Yeah? And that's really about all I want to say without getting too far in the game, because going too far in this game, as you can see, net worth is pulling already far too ahead. SF, which originally was losing their lane, has already gone on, pretty much come back because of this flash farming. Your Morphling isn't really getting all the space he needs. And this Jug is absolutely massive. If we look at the net worth, that's not looking very good.
Radiant's top tower's in bad
shape. It's not completely over at this point, but
courier has made its final delivery.
It definitely isn't going well already. You can see, yeah, you have wards, but currently your wards are, well, how do I put them? They're far too out. You see that Invoker is not really getting all the, he can't see. Basically, he's got no vision in the places where he needs to be. Where there needs to be vision, sorry.
Looking fortified.
So that's something which you have to worry about. Basically, you want to just keep on trading regen with the offlaner at the start. Until you run out of regen, you can be in lane. After that, we don't want to see you. We want you to see you either when we need you, basically saving the carry, or stacking, or pulling to keep the wave in with the onto the tower, near the tower. You don't want to keep on pulling, because some carries just can't farm on the tower. It's just like if you try to pull on a Drow Ranger, she'll hate you. Yeah? That's all I would probably want to say after that recap. So basically, that's what I believe you can probably take away from this game. And also taking into account that a Tide Hunter, don't put double debuffs on him, because you'll lose damage, basically.
Now that was a fail, both.